The Toronto Blue Jays added two big-time names before the season, just as they did the year before. Paul Molitor signed as a free agent on December 7th of '92 to be the new designated hitter after Dave Winfield left, and Dave Stewart signed a 2-year deal just 2 days later on December 9th to bolster the rotation after David Cone and Jimmy Key departed in free agency. Mid-season, Toronto reacquired shortstop Tony Fernandez from the Mets on June 11th, and then traded for Ricky Henderson from Oakland on July 31st to add elite base running and speed for October. Before opening day, odds makers listed the Blue Jays around plus 600 to win the World Series, meaning a $100 bet would return $600 if they repeated. That positioned them among the favorites, but not a lock. During the regular season, Toronto finished with 95 wins and 67 losses and won the American League East. On September 27, 1993, they clinched the division with a 2-0 win in Milwaukee. This Jays offense was historic. John Olerud had a .363 average, Paul Molitor hit .332, and Roberto Alomar .326. They finished 1-2-3 in the American League batting race, the first time three teammates had ever done that. Closer Dwayne Ward anchored the bullpen and finished the year with 45 saves, which is ridiculous. The playoff format in 1993 had only 2 rounds. Each league, American League and National League, had 2 divisions, East and West. The 2 division winners met in a best-of-7 league championship series, and the winners advanced to the World Series. This was also a best-of-7. There was no division series and no wild card yet. A team needed 4 wins in the league championship series to reach the World Series, and then 4 wins in the World Series to claim the championship. To win the American League, Toronto beat the Chicago White Sox in the ALCS, 4-2. Dave Stewart was named Series MVP. Toronto's 95-67 record faced Chicago's 94-68, and the Jays took control with timely hitting from Molitor and Olerud, and strong starts from Stewart and Pat Henkin. On to the World Series. The Fall Classic matched the Blue Jays with the Philadelphia Phillies in mid-October 1993. Games 1, 2, and 6 were played at the Sky Dome in Toronto. Games 3, 4, and 5 were played at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. The world during this week saw 3 major headlines. Michael Jordan had shocked sports by announcing his first NBA retirement on October 6, 1993. The Russian constitutional crisis had peaked on October 3rd and 4th of '93 with fighting in Moscow. In Canada, a federal election was set for October 25th. 2 days after the series ended. World Series Game 1, October 16th, Sky Dome in Toronto. After early offense by the Phillies, Devon White tied it with a homer, John Olerud homered for the lead, and Roberto Alomar doubled in the 7th to break it open. Al later won in relief, and Dwayne Ward closed it. Blue Jays win 8-5. Toronto led the series 1-0. World Series Game 2, October 17th, Sky Dome in Toronto. A 5-run third inning, capped by Jim Eisenreich's 3-run homer and Lenny Dykstra's solo shot, put the Phillies ahead. Terry Mulholland earned the win, and Mitch Williams got the save. Philadelphia wins 6-4, series tied at 1 game apiece. World Series Game 3, October 19th, Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Pat Henkin delivered 7 strong innings. Paul Molitor homered and drove the offense with extra base hits. Toronto wins 10-3 and led the series 2-1. World Series Game 4, October 20th, Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Toronto wins 15-14 in a 4-hour back-and-forth slugfest that set World Series records for most combined runs, 29. Most runs by a losing team, 14. And longest game time to that point, 4 hours and 14 minutes. Toronto trailed 14-9 in the 8th, but scored 6 to take the lead. Lenny Dykstra hit 2 homers for Philadelphia. Dwayne Ward got the save. Mitch Williams took the loss. Toronto led the series 3-1. World Series Game 5, October 21st, Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Phillies win 2-0 behind Curt Schilling's complete game, 5-hit shutout. The Phillies scratched out single runs in the first 2 innings and held on. Toronto holds on to a 1-game lead 3-2. World Series Game 6, October 23rd, Sky Dome in Toronto, with the Blue Jays leading the series 3-2 and and coming back home to over 50,000 fans packing the Sky Dome and hoping to see history. Dave Stewart started for Toronto against Terry Mulholland of Philadelphia. Toronto struck first in the bottom of the first inning when Paul Molitor tripled to drive home Rickey Henderson, and Joe Carter added a sacrifice fly for a 2-0 lead. The Phillies answered in the fourth, scoring 3 times on hits from Lenny Dykstra, Darren Daulton, and Milt Thompson to move ahead 3-2. In the fifth, Molitor tied the game with a solo home run, and in the sixth, Tony Fernandez singled, driving in John Olerud to give Toronto a 5-3 lead. But in the seventh, the Phillies stormed back with a 5-run rally, fueled by a bases-loaded walk to Dykstra, a clutch single by Dave Hollins, and a sacrifice fly from Pete Incaviglia, turning the game around 6-5 in favor of Philadelphia. In the bottom of the ninth, facing closer Mitch Williams, Henderson walked and Molitor singled, putting the winning run on base. Then, with a 2-2 count, Joe Carter crushed a low fastball just over the left field wall for a 3-run walk-off home run, giving Toronto an 8-6 victory and their second straight World Series title. It was only the second walk-off home run to clinch a World Series in MLB history. Paul Molitor was named Series MVP, hitting .500 with 2 home runs and 8 runs scored.